The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Hello guys, good evening. This is Shea and Irina with Honey, I'm Home. And we actually have a special guest joining us today. Her name is Jay Harper.
Yeah. Hi.
So hello from Atlanta, and we know that you guys from Boston, a lot of you are listening to us. You actually have a family in Boston, right?
Yes, my mom and my little brother lives in Boston, so really close to Worcester. I gotta make sure I say that right.
Well, we'll make sure they're listening, or at least listening to our replays later.
Yeah.
So it's so great to hear you and have you here joining us. So we will talk about your special project, which I'm very intrigued about. And we, of course, will touch base on all the usual stuff. Shay and I are blubbering the whole hour here.
Yes.
But I would like to start with you. So we met during the theater production very recently.
Yes, we did.
At Your Family, where you were doing an amazing job as a mom.
Thank you.
You were going from in all these hectic situations which real mom goes through. You were just playing all those emotions so perfectly. So I really enjoyed working with you. It was great. And now you're doing your own projects.
Yes.
So it's called One Night Stand with Nine.
Yes, it's called The One Night Stand with Nine, the uncommon side of common stories.
Okay. And I'm intrigued by the name. How did the name come about? What it's about?
Well, the reason why I did that name is because it's a one-man show. So I'm the only actor, and it's only performed one night, and I play 9 people.
Call it an exclusive. You cannot go any more exclusive than that.
Yes, it's one night, one actor, and I play 9 characters.
Okay, so I'm happy it's not a one night stand with 9 people.
Well,
because that's the kind of the visual.
Yes, the visual. The thing is, there is content. This is a very adult production.
Okay.
So
you got my attention.
Yes. So not adult in the way where it's like, oh, you're coming to see something super explicit. It's adult, but it's also artistically controversial. So there's a lot of things that I talk about, including sexual content, including dark content, tragic things, hurtful things that I talk about and I project in that show that really encompass the whole title of it.
And you told me you actually wrote the show. Okay, so is it more based on the personal experiences, or is it just a creative process?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, there's a little truth in everything, but I twist it to make it more of a story, to give a little bit of some lines there. But I take definitely some inspiration from my life and I use it for art. So
okay. Well, let us just address those people who are joining us on Facebook Live. We already started our presentation, our show for tonight on the radio, but we have our very special guest here, Jay Harper, who we are talking to about her production. So you can listen in the replays what we already discussed, but just in a couple words. So she's having a show here in Atlanta. When is the show again?
The show is November 18th at the Relapse Theater at 8 p.m. You can always come at 7. There's going to be drinks. There's a red carpet. It's really like a high-end event. We want everybody to come out and have a good time. You can see some really unorthodox art.
Yes, and talking about unorthodox art, the show is called One Night Stand with Nine.
Mm-hmm.
So just the title alone got my attention. Yes. So, and it's actually written and produced by Jay.
Yes.
And it's based on some of your life stories, inspired by some of your life stories, but of course there's always a creative part to it. So I think it will be interesting. And taking over 9 different characters, as you mentioned, that takes a lot of talent.
It's difficult.
I can only imagine. I'm trying to put one character in during the audition. You're talking about 9. So that's a lot. So tell us a little bit about your background. When did you start your acting career? And what inspired you to become an actress?
This is so funny. I didn't really take acting seriously until college. I was actually a law major.
A law major?
I was I was going to be a lawyer, but not really like a lawyer. I was going to be more into like forensics and all types of criminal, like white collar crime. Like I was head on for it. I was doing a minor in botany. And
what is that?
Studying plants.
Okay.
And anthropology as well. So I was doing that. I actually was bored. So I had no choice but to switch majors because I was so bored I couldn't pass any classes because I hated what I was doing.
So you switched to?
Yeah, she said pick a college. I said, hey, well, do theater.
So you did theater.
Okay. At the University of Florida. I got into the theater and School of Theater and Dance, and it's been ever since then. I never went back.
It makes such a difference to do something you're passionate about.
Oh yeah,
right. It doesn't feel like a chore.
Right. I couldn't stop talking about it. I told all my friends. They were like, "Oh, you never talked about law stuff." I said, "Oh, because I hated it."
Right. Well, I took several law classes required for my major, and I can't imagine how bad it was.
Yeah.
You're always trying to lawyer me.
Well, I guess it's the leftovers some of the law classes. But okay, so it was in Florida. So when did you come to Atlanta? Actually,
I actually moved to Atlanta a little over a year ago in the end of January of 2016.
Okay, so very recent.
Very recently. Okay. I kind of just picked up my life. I took a year off after I graduated. I took a year off to get myself together to feel prepared enough to come to Atlanta and start my acting career professionally. And then I just moved. I moved.
I mean, Atlanta is a great place to be nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I see all those TV shows and all the movies which are made here. It's just amazing how fast the industry exploded here. It's did I say it right? Exploded?
The mini Hollywood here. Little Hollywood over here.
Yes. So, and I mean, the theater plays a big part in Atlanta's cultural life.
It's not as big as film. I can say that after for being in the industry here, like it's not as out there. Kind of dying, I think, in Atlanta is for me, coming from where I come from as far as arts, but it's coming back. It's putting its claws out there, but it's just fighting against film. The film industry is hard.
Well, and that's why we have to revive theater, right? Like,
that's why I'm doing this.
I was telling Shea that theater is my first love. I actually enjoy live performances so much more. But probably, I think, well, why do you think is that? Why do you think the theater is kind of stepping back and becoming less interesting?
The thing,
you have opinion about that?
I don't know. Netflix and Hulu are just,
things
are overshooting. People stare at their phones all day. They want Netflix and Hulu type apps. I mean, theater doesn't have apps. I don't know.
And theater it's a very it's disciplined.
Yeah.
There's etiquette. There's a lot of etiquette with it, and so a lot of people don't really know that anymore. They're more just into the quick in and out, instead of the actual artistic discipline and etiquette of it all, which is what stage theater is. And that's why it will always be my first love. Like, I do film. There is nothing like coming into a show, into a stage, getting a live theatrical production.
I'm always so amazed with theater because there is this element of something unpredictable. Yes, it's a scripted acting.
Oh, of course.
But there are so many things that can go wrong. And I just especially watching the same performance several times in a row. You never watch it the same one.
Oh, it's never the same. It can't be because it is live.
Right. So, can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, of course.
Because we are famous for talking about weird topics and being super blunt.
Please listen. I'm already out there as far as just like my brand itself. So you can ask.
Okay, so are you married or are you single?
I will be married.
Okay,
really.
Oh, okay. So you're engaged. Oh, you hope to be married.
No,
okay, so
I'm engaged.
So you're engaged. Okay, so
I'll be married soon. Yes.
Okay, so there's a significant other
definitely.
Right there. Okay, so because I wanted to ask, what is your impression of dating in Atlanta? But it looks like you came with your own.
Actually, no. I came here single.
Oh my God, that's such a life change. So you came single to start your career in Atlanta, and you actually met somebody special.
I met somebody special who doesn't even live in Atlanta. He actually was in Atlanta working on business, and he walked into my job, and I fell in love immediately. I was done for. I couldn't even work for 3 days. I stalked the man.
Okay.
All over.
So did you get a taste of dating in Atlanta?
No. Okay. I was so focused on my career. I did not do anything unless it was for my career.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are now in a different state? You live in
yes, he lives in Kansas City, Missouri, and I live here.
We were actually just discussing that a couple shows ago. How does it work long distance? Like, is it really possible to create a long lasting relationship while you're so far from each other?
Yes.
Yes. So you're an example of that.
I am a living example. I can say that this is the first one that actually worked for me. Okay. He's an amazing guy. I think the thing is a lot of effort on both ends. Each other like every 3 weeks. That you have to put in the effort. Communication is key.
We live in the same house and we're like struggling.
Yeah, your communication has to be phenomenal. Understanding, listening. Everything has to be like extra.
And it takes a lot of trust too. Like living in two different states. Like,
if you don't trust, then don't do it.
Right.
It'll probably end.
But I guess like love grows fonder, they say. The distance make it.
It's like when I see him, like after we haven't seen each other and we do, it is the most phenomenal time. I can't get enough. I always cry when I leave. So.
That's sweet. Well, so to all of you people out there who are wondering, is this possible? Like we were questioning if it's. I'm going to steal it closer to you so people can see.
No, it's okay.
And we can. Oh, can we see her? Okay. Push up here.
Oh, come this way.
So they can see.
You're talking far away from the microphone. You do know that.
Okay, we can. You see how you have to adjust the camera?
The radio needs to hear you. You need to get closer to the microphone.
Okay, so we'll stay at the microphone.
You need to get closer to the microphone.
Okay, me too. We're still trying to figure out who are we working on, for camera or the radio. So I guess both. Okay, cool. That works. So for those people who are still trying to figure out the long distance relationship, if it's possible, how we question it, here's the example of it can work. There's lots of hard work and trust each other, and you both being amazing. Possible.
Yes. I don't recommend it.
I think if love at first sight is possible for me, then long distance is possible. Anything's possible.
I don't recommend it. If you can get in your car and move there, I recommend that.
So how do you decide who is moving? Is it career decisions, or
it can be, like I said, communication. It's all about discussing what works best for everybody, and just understanding each other's situation and stuff like that. And then there's always patience, because sometimes you have to wait a little bit just to make sure everything works out properly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so going back to your production, to your stage play, which is it about your experiences as a single person, or is just the whole life experiences period? I'm trying not to
I don't want to put too much truth to it.
Okay.
Simply because of how demented it is, and it is not just about my experiences as a single person. It is about it has hints of things that may or could have happened in my life. Whether it be childhood trauma or assault. It could. I go into domestic violence. I go into marriage. I touch on suicide, rape. Touch on sex. There are a lot of things in there that people don't expect to be there. But I don't want it to be a thing where it's like this is what my life was. These are stories I've created from inspiration from myself of characters that bear truth that anybody could relate to, but in a very twisted way. Because a lot of times in life there are there are typical stories. For example, the child or drug addict mother. And there is the thing where everybody's kind of like, there's more pity on the child, but no one really understands the side of what did this other individual have to endure to be that person. That is what my show does. I take what is expected and twist it to the other side.
Oh, that's very
interesting. And I don't give you enough time to understand what you're feeling from feeling so uncomfortable to go that way. And then I take you somewhere else.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And it's actually kind of related to something I want to talk about. Today I saw somebody posting on Facebook. I don't understand why all those people posting hashtag Me Too. What does it do to you? Have you heard about the hashtag Me Too?
I actually just saw it today. I believe it has something to do. I haven't looked into it simply because I've been so busy today. But I believe it has something to do with women.
Well, I had to Google it myself, and it's related to the story with the gentleman who was
Harvey Weinstein and sexual assaults or alleged sexual assaults on famous actresses.
And even men.
Yeah.
What's that name of that actor? He's so masculine. It's really hard to imagine that he could be a victim of abuse, of sexual abuse.
Oh, I think I know sexual abuse. Yeah, I didn't.
Terry, what's his name?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. So it come up in the reference to that. So many people, celebrities, were trying to bring attention to that. It's happening way more often than people realize it does.
Nobody reports it.
Yes, nobody reports
it's just not a reported
right.
thing.
And and now I see when some of my friends posting Me Too, meaning that they were victims of either assault or abuse. And
nobody reports it because it usually happens by somebody you know or respect. Therefore, you don't say nothing about it. Because,
right, and it's kind of
you're
related
scared
to
that you might get fallback from it.
Right, and you kind of brought it out that that some of the difficult issues you are addressing as well. And honestly, I feel like, okay, so the question was like, why did these women not report it, the person? Like you saying because they knew, right?
And typically know who assaults you.
But you got to understand there are situations. Now, I'm not saying anyone is, okay. People can be ambitious in some certain ways. Maybe these are actresses or whatever the case may be. Sometimes your ambition to reach success is greater than your self-worth in a moment. And you bypass things because you really want to reach somewhere.
Right.
And you get assaulted.
And you lower your standards.
Yeah, and it's not even about, it's not even lowering the standards. You allow things to happen to you that are harming you that you choose to ignore for the greater purpose in your mind of what your success is. It happens all the time. It happens
in almost every situation, whether it's peer pressure in high school. You let the popular guy feel on you because you want to be the popular girl. So you let him do it.
Happens all the time.
And you don't say anything when you are. Well,
right.
You don't want to.
But my perspective on that, for example, I think that by talking about it, it's like mentioning the person who committed the mass shooting. You're making a person famous for the wrong reasons.
Well, I don't think they're being famous.
Really.
They need, the thing about it is like,
if this person is not gonna be punished. Infamous. But I'm saying this,
infamous,
like,
not famous.
For example, if you know that what happened to you was out of control. Like we know that victims often feel guilty for what happened because they partially blame themselves, that they put themselves in that situation. And often they think that because this person is so powerful that they can do more damage than good by reporting them.
Once you have people on your side, you're not as worried about his power anymore.
Yeah, because someone like that in the academy, it's kind of hard to come to unless it's several people. And it is several people. You know what I mean? Like, and not even that, just there's a lot of things that go with assault. Like these women could be embarrassed or and it's or depressed. There's a lot of things that happen that will cause you not to talk, where you just choose to ignore it and suppress it and keep going rather than
there are people who probably did have normal consensual sex with this guy and are probably lying and saying, oh, I was assaulted too, just because they feel guilty or uncomfortable,
or they just
they
actually
gave in and had regular sex.
They just want to be on that wave of popularity at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of speculation, and nobody would ever know unless it was like.
But I'm talking about real people who you might know who coming out right now and saying, yes, I was assaulted. So do you feel like it has a more positive effect that, yes, I have a freedom to talk about it, I'm not ashamed? Or would it be more important just let it pass so you don't even bring it up, you don't even mention it?
Some people are making their stories up. It's that simple. But not many, but it's
some people,
that's the situation.
I'm talking about regular people.
Yeah,
right now
some people are making it up because that's the thing to do right now, is to say you got sexually, me too. It's the popular hashtag.
Okay, so
I feel like some people could be, but the ones who are seriously doing that, being able to voice something that has been suppressed is more for yourself than it is for the people.
It is.
And when there is an opportunity to actually say that, and with a group, when the world is doing something like that and you're able to do it, it's not embarrassing for you anymore. It's almost a relief. Yeah, you're relieving a lot of the hurt, a lot of guilt by saying it and letting it out. And you're not getting judged for it.
Right.
So I see it more like on that end.
So, well, I still think that many people wouldn't do that. I mean, as I said, like my reasoning is like I don't want to feel like it still has any power over me. For example, if
I understand that some people
blatantly go out and say, "Yeah, I got abused too," which is why I think that there are a lot of people falsely claiming that they probably got assaulted because it's a trend right now to do so.
Right.
But that's where I'm coming from with probably some of the false accusations of just, oh yeah, I got assaulted too, and that's probably.
And it's interesting because this opinion mostly comes with men.
Don't want to come
this opinion mostly comes with men. I'm not telling against
I totally
you,
understand.
But like men who actually the ones who actually question if it's possible that there are so many. Mostly women who
those hurtful feelings becomes a trend. That's when it gets suspect. Like, I'm not trying to be the typical man here. I'm just saying when it's a trend to bring up painful, hurtful feelings that nobody wants to bring up, that's when it's a problem. Mm-hmm. That's when it's like, I hear you, but are you really going to sit up and tell your mom or sister or friend who actually assaulted you, or are you joining the crowd because it's a popular Twitter hashtag?
But don't you think your family and your friends will come out to you and try to find out more details?
That's my
feel
point.
Sorry for you.
That is what I'm worried about, because when they want more details and you make some up, I'm worried about that.
Okay.
That's what I'm worried about.
I think there's more truth than anything. Simply, I mean, there's always the possibility that somebody could that. But at the end of the day, there are so many people who don't speak,
right?
And that they're given this option to speak. I think there's more truth than.
I agree that there's 90% truth out there, but the 10% are who I'm worried about. Like, I'm worried about the 10% of people who are making this up, and they're going to take it so far before they say, okay, I was just doing a hashtag.
Trying to bring some followers on my page.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well, but coming back to your production, it's very interesting that this particular week, one of our friends actually posted a movie he made himself. His wife is in some movies on TV and some shows, but he said that he always was inspired to be an actor, but nobody would cast him. So he decided, why would I have to wait for anybody? I will just make my own movies. I will just produce my own movies.
Sounds like Sylvester Stallone's life story.
Right. And he said, and then maybe some of those guys will finally, notice me. And he actually posted it on his Facebook page. He sent us messages. So Crystal Peoples, we admire your move. I think it's very smart because really, like, there are so many people on YouTube now who create their own content. If you can write and produce your own movie, why not to do that? And just keep doing what you do. And that's what Tyler Perry started doing, right? That's what these people also inspired. Sylvester Stallone. He wrote
an Oscar with Rocky when he.
And at his own screenplay.
He wrote his own movie, starred in it, got an Oscar.
Right. So, what was your inspiration to write and produce besides just wanting to share? Like, isn't it scary to be by yourself on stage? Well, instead of like relying on a whole cast of other actors in case something goes wrong.
Crazy thing about it with me, the stage has always been the place I am most comfortable. It's where I come to life. It is where I can truly be myself. The funny thing is, the inspiration for this stems from none other than my acting teacher for ATL Acting Up. His name is Brandon Thaxton. And I go there every Saturday. And that one Saturday I went there, and he told me I had to have a monologue prepared. And I didn't. But I am an improv, I get it like this. I can make up something in 2.5 seconds. So he said, are you ready? And I will never say I'm not ready, because that's not what you do in the industry. If they ask you ready, you are ready whether you are or not. Right. So I said, yes, I am ready.
Okay.
And he called me up, in the first monologue that is on my production. I made it up on the spot.
Okay.
Word for word, had it all figured out in about 0.2 seconds. And he looked at me because he knows me so well. He said, did you make that up? I was like, yeah. He's like, that was very good. You should write your own show. I did in 2 weeks.
Wow. And actually, I just finished reading a book on improv. And one of the things they were discussing they were saying, and that was actually one of the exercises, they said, write your own monologue. He would just go around, and the first thing he hear people discussing, he said, this is your theme, this is your topic, write your own monologue. And then you can tweak it and twist it for the next class, but give me improv right now.
Yeah.
And I guess the logic behind that was, when you're trying to memorize somebody's words, or you're trying to find a monologue for auditions, which represents you the best, you're always very close, but can you be as close as writing your own words and saying your own words? So he was actually saying that nothing would represent you better during the auditions as your own material. And he said, you might not always want to say it's your own material. He said, this is the only time I would advise you can just take some fictional name and say this is from stage, whatever. But he said, nothing will represent you better than your own material. Do you agree with that opinion?
I think I kind of have to, simply because I have improv almost every audition since I've been in Atlanta, and nobody knows that. Simply and I sit before, and I always say, by unknown, the unknown is me. And I go there, I go inside, and I literally will spit something, whether, let's say I might be upset the week before, or I'm going through something, I will improv a whole audition. And then I'll be done with it. I'll just walk out and be like, thank you.
And you see, I'm learning from you right now, because I'm always so stressed out that I'm forgetting the lines. And I do fill in the gaps. I'm just talking pretty close about what the monologue is about. But it just adds this unnecessary layer of stress when you're trying to recreate somebody else's character, which is not you. So I'm taking notes from you. Thanks. So on that note, I actually was invited to a discussion on Thursday about what to do and not to do as an actress during the audition. Basically, the topic of it is audition nightmares.
You still got to read that book I bought.
That's
about that too.
Yeah, and we basically will be discussing what to do and not to what to do. So I want to just, kind of take advantage of you being here. So, if you were to join that discussion, what would you recommend to actors and actresses who are just starting out? What do you think is the worst thing they can do and the best thing they can do? What advice you might give them?
Oh, this is a good question for me because I actually have always sucked at auditions. And I can tell you all the mistakes I've always made. I have always let my nerves get the best of me instead of using it as an adrenaline to make my audition the best it could be. I always take the mistakes I made in the audition outside with me, and that's also a mistake. You don't ever take what happened in that room outside.
Right.
Whatever happens in that room stays in that room when you leave. You wipe your hands of it because at that point, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can change. Confident, even if you're nervous, there's your confidence. Be yourself. Be straightforward. And if you mess up, you are the only person that knows that.
Who knows that, right?
You can, because you can mess up and you can start over as if nothing ever happened. And they're trying to figure out, like, okay, what happened?
Who knows?
Who knows what just happened?
Right.
But you keep going, so that you can do that. Know your stuff. Know the first line. Know the last line. Because if you don't know the middle, you might need to improv that. But as long as you get that first and last, you make the point.
Or if you like, you don't make it to the last. They start.
Yeah. Always know the technical things. Whether how you're supposed to slate. Of course, they would tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's on that note, the book I read and I recommend to actors when asking me about auditions. It's called Audition Bible, a great book. And she was talking about the same thing. She said, like, people who make decisions often have no idea, especially in commercials. They have no idea anything about acting at all. You're the one who's trained in acting. They don't know. So they judge by your confidence level. So, and she was giving an example when somebody did horribly, but she left like she just did the Oscar performance. And the guy who was actually a producer, he was like, well, she was great. She was great. And everybody's like, okay, I mean, you paying. So you're the one who will be deciding at the end. So she got the role.
Yeah.
So it's not even who is the best actor sometimes. It's confidence might actually win.
There's a lot of that in this industry. It's like, if you're not hungry for it, somebody else is. And they may not have what you have or be as good, but they have something that I wanted that you don't have that will get them the job. Because you can always mold, clay. Once clay is set, not much you can do. So all the really super trained people who really aren't easy to mold, it's kind of hard to work with. Usually, a lot of times they'll go with someone they can work with.
Right. Somebody who's like, I only do this technique and this way. And
yeah. when you're like that, like, I'm not that type of actor. I'm one of those, I just mold and flow with the river. Like, I really am like how you see me. And I'm like all these people, I really am like that in real life all the time.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. I just harass all my friends. I'm always like 30 different people at one time.
Oh my God.
Like my teacher is always saying, okay, who do we have today? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it might be, I have like different accents.
It's like a multiple personality.
Yeah. I live my career every day because it's really not just a job or anything. It's what I love to do. It's something I'm passionate about. I would do it forever. It's not something like, oh my gosh, I have to make $1 million to do this. No, it's something I actually am passionate about. And I want to take the next level by actually putting my work out there.
Okay. So what else are you working on besides that?
After this show, I will be writing a musical.
Ooh. So you said you're a dancer as well, right?
Yes, but you're more of
a singer.
Yes, I'm more of a singer. I can definitely do that, but I think acting and singing is like my tip top, and dancing is like, go ahead and teach me. I got a minor in it, but it's not like I'm like Misty Copeland or anything like that.
I mean, you don't really have to be.
Listen,
we were just like joking. Shea was telling me the story that on one of his sets, he said that they picked this pretty girl. You want to tell the story about the dance?
I'm not going to tell this story just in case she hears it.
Okay, I'll tell. I mean, blame on me. He said they picked a pretty girl to be like a feature and dance, with one of the main characters. And he said everybody thought she was pretty until she started dancing. By the time she finished, everybody thought she was very unattractive.
Oh no!
So I don't know how you have to dance. To get that opinion later.
Well, I'd probably be that person. I literally, I honestly think I have a minor just to say that I can dance, but I really don't.
Well, and let me tell you about my husband's timing, because he tells me this story right after he told me, could you strip for me? And I'm thinking, okay, that's the man who goes to professional strip clubs most of his life. I
don't have permission, so I don't
so he tells me, like, could you strip for me? But before that, he tells me the story. I'm thinking, like, oh my gosh, how would I look after that?
I didn't tell you before.
Well, anyways, and I remembered also there's Amy Schumer's show, which I love, where she's trying. There's her little sketch where she's trying to have a sex with the guy who wants an angel and the fallen woman at the same time. And he was like, can you strip for me? And then she started doing. It's like, why do you do it so well? It's like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. So, and she started pretending like she doesn't know how to dance. And I'm like, this man, you don't know how to act sometimes. If you dance too well, like, why you dance so well?
How did you learn that?
How did you learn that? How often did you do that before? And if you don't do it and you're trying to act like all innocence, like, she was very unattractive by the time she finished.
Oh, that sucks. I hope, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing like that.
Well, we were just joking. So, yeah, well, I just want to make a little announcement. I know I posted a very controversial picture, me and Shea, both with our bellies full of Russian food, and we have a background saying it's a girl. Well, we're not pregnant.
That's what she thinks.
Well, that's what I think. As of right now, I think I'm not pregnant. So, obviously, Shea is not pregnant, but food was great. So yeah, we couldn't help ourselves. So, but
we were at a baby shower.
Yeah, we were at the baby shower of our very good friend, and her birthday actually was last week. So we had so many birthdays this couple of weeks. So happy birthday to Jenny! Happy birthday to Yanina! Great party! Thank you so much for inviting us. We met so many great people. Thank you. Happy birthday to Kendall, our friend who just left us recently with our cupcakes.
Left our house. Not left us. She
sounded
like
I was like, oh my
he
God.
Died.
No.
She's so Russian.
Oh my gosh, no.
He left us.
Left our house. I'm sorry, he's still celebrating his birthday. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. But yeah, we were super busy socializing this week, and I had, of course, my Fashion Week show, Miss Fashion Week, which I was so happy to see that diverse, very non-traditional, beautiful ladies actually won that competition. Like the main runway show, it was actually won by the lady who's albino. And she has this very striking
albino.
I'm sorry. Well, guys, I'm Russian, so
I understood.
Okay, so
I'm just
who is interested? They always understand. So yes, she has this very striking appearance of like a very pale skin, like myself, and this like red hair.
So Irina's complexion.
Yeah, so she's
the only other white girl there.
No, there was some. There was Mrs. India. 2017.
The only other white girl there, I repeat.
Well, we're in Atlanta, so. Well, she had a very striking appearance, and her taste. Her dress was amazing. Some other ladies, like you can see the winner picture on my Instagram if you go there. So it's great. We had a great time over there. I still don't know how to curl my hair. It's horrible.
It's okay.
I was trying to do it by myself, and I spent 2 hours, and I wanted to impress my friend in Miami who gave up on me curling my hair, because once we were going on a date or going out, and she said, okay, let me curl it.
No.
Not date, out, and I was still single. So she was like, let me curl your hair. After 30 minutes, she gave up because my hair doesn't hold anything, any curls. So I'm standing there and I see my curls for like exactly 10 minutes. And before I even take a selfie, curls are gone. So yes, that's my hair.
Oh my God.
So I decided I'm just going to do fake hair next time.
Okay, that's okay.
I just learned from most of the ladies who had the perfect hairstyle.
What you trying to say?
I can suggest.
Please do, because I'm so tired of struggling with my own. So.
I think if you should try flexi rods and sleep on it, wake up, you might actually have some curls for more than.
Really? I might. Well, I learned to sleep with a snoring husband, so I might. I might learn going to sleep with the curls.
Yeah, just put the flexi rods in. They're actually pretty awesome.
I'll stop snoring for you. So people...
Well, it's amazing because if I'm not in the bedroom, he snores like an elephant. I don't know who snores loudly, but I mean...
And I choose to not snore when you get there.
Yes, but then
Thank you very much.
when I get there, he stops. Because
Thank you very much.
I don't know, because our friend...
I consciously can control everything I'm doing while I sleep.
It's very interesting.
Literally.
Because like a friend of us, he was like actually parking on our couch for a couple of days, and he was like, how can you sleep with him? He's here and he's listening like the wall shaking in the house.
Oh my gosh.
But the minute I walk in the bedroom and he knows we're going to sleep, quiet. I don't know. I mean, he trained. I trained him. He trained himself. I don't know what happened.
I can train myself. Like literally, I can make.
But I remember in the beginning of our relationship, I thought it's going to be a deal breaker. I swear, because I broke up with guys before.
I'm that considerate.
He is considerate.
Consciously,
yes.
Like that. I will not snore if I know somebody.
Wow. Yeah.
It's me. I might.
Oh my God! Like the first couple weeks, I would like kick him every couple minutes. I can't sleep. I can't sleep because I thought, at least he's not sleeping either. But I think he got tired of this, so that's why he stopped. So.
I have a baby snore. My babe. He's like, no, yours is cute. I'm like,
oh, so you have a baby snore?
Apparently it's like really small, but it could get like big one time. He was like, you might snore like once, and I'm like, that's weird. So weird.
Yeah, there's some of those habits you don't anticipate, like what's like...
You never take that into account. You never do anything for me. I consciously don't snore for you.
That's a lot. That's a big deal. I have to agree. Well, also I have an interesting question. So we were discussing networking as a couple. So we were recently at the party, and we didn't really network with anybody because he was afraid to talk to women. I was not supposed to talk or touch anybody because I'm such a hand talker.
I didn't say anything about you talking. I just mentioned that you did when she walked away.
I'm touching people all the time when I'm talking.
I'm basically touching, like a guy was kind of holding himself while he was like standing there in security. She has her hand over his penis while she's whispering in his ear, and I mentioned it when she came back over. I was like, you probably didn't notice that you were basically holding his penis while you were talking to him.
Well, I guess.
No, I wasn't. I'm like, where was your hand? Over his hand? Where was his hand? Oh, I didn't realize it. I'm like, okay.
I am focused on his face, so.
Well, at least you're innocent.
Well, it's just like, I don't know why.
Conscious.
I don't know why. It's just like, I feel like we connect instantly when you just like touch somebody on the shoulder, on the hand. I don't know if I did it to you, but like if I do it, I do something.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't. No, I usually don't really like people touching me very much, but because I'm. After, you be social all the time and stuff like that, you kind of just get used to it. I think in a more like closed setting, if I was just like out and about, I'd probably notice it more like, but not really.
If I were to touch a woman while I spoke to her,
he would be dead.
Thank you.
My God.
It's a tough life for him.
It's a double standard every time I deal with this woman.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
I
can't even have a. That's why I said networking as a couple does not work. I can't be halfway normal.
What do you think?
Dealing with women. Period.
It works for me. I don't really have an issue. Like,
are you not? You're not a jealous person.
Oh no! Like that. He loves me so much. I love him so much. No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. He'll just like he can go talk to her, but he doesn't like people touching him anyways. So he's never too like close to people, but when he does, I don't mind. And when I'm out there, he knows I'm working, and so we have a very good understanding about each other. So we never really have that at all.
Well, I think we are both jealous people.
I'm not jealous at all. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. She is Lorena Bobbitt sitting over here. She doesn't know what that means. I'm jealous. No, but she is Lorena Bobbitt.
Who is Lorena Bobbitt?
Exactly.
Who is it?
Exactly.
I'm asking her.
I don't know.
Oh, see? She doesn't know now.
I don't know.
Because he always...
They don't know who Lorena Bobbitt is.
We don't.
Let's keep it that way.
No. Tell
I will look it up, though.
He does it to me all the time. He's like, you don't know it, and I can't talk to you about... Because you're Russian. Well, great thing I find out during this party. We met another couple. who are very similar to us, having the very similar issues, and she's American. She is not Russian, and they're having the same things. And I was so relieved. I was like, thank you. I was so pleased to meet you, Hope, because this gentleman does the same thing that your boyfriend does. so
you was able to relate.
Yeah, we both were able to relate, like, apparently. So the networking went so well, you know. so she is now looking forward to hanging out with them as a double date. So we hope guys, we will share our passion for Groupon. Did you hear for Groupon?
No, actually, I don't. I've actually had the app, and I had the app simply to say that I had the Groupon app, but I never bought anything else.
Oh my god! Like, I got this man addicted to it, like, slightly.
I should try it. Maybe.
For example, those paintings come from Groupon. It's actually not a Groupon; it's a painting class which you can buy on Groupon.
Oh, that is, yeah. You see, I do a lot of Facebook Market.
And then you go. Oh, there's a Facebook Market.
You go on Facebook Market. You can, like, buy all types of stuff from people all around you. Like,
we drew them. We made them.
Doesn't describe that very
we painted them.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
yeah, so it was.
I'm an artist too. So
it was like me and my mom's birthday celebration. My mom did this one, and I did this one.
That's actually really nice.
Yes, and I actually took Shea on a date with me and my mom for a painting class, and he was like so not like him.
Everything a date.
Well, what was it? It wasn't a date. We were dating.
Outing? What?
Outing? Okay.
On a date?
What's the difference between date and outing when you're dating?
I mean, with you and your mom, took me on a date with you and your mom.
Right.
That sounds weird.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, so anyways, 3 of us went out for painting class, and it was the first time Shea had to paint something.
Yeah.
And first he was very not liking it, I think, but then he ended up being so proud of his final results. And I think mom is holding the precious painting in a brown wood frame right now. So yeah, but we were talking about this, like, when we were dating with him, we did so much stuff from Groupon, you know, and I was an entertainer most of the time.
When we were dating with him, who else was dating me?
You and I, when we were dating.
When we were dating with him, you and your mom were dating me at the same time?
No, when I was dating him. Thank you. Jesus, like, I already have a place in heaven just because I'm married to him. So anyways, so you know, we did a lot of, like, stuff based on Groupon. Like, we went kayaking, which he hated, but
that sounds actually fun. Huh?
But we were going to, for his birthday, we were going to, how do you call this when you fly?
She wanted me to go hang gliding.
Oh,
that is dope.
Because, you know, first I thought, he said, his confession to me was like, I love flying. I'm thinking, for his birthday, I'm gonna take us on this little trip on this little plane. Like, you know, not a traditional plane, but
I know.
One for two people. Well, I had to return that because plane wasn't solid enough for him. So he said it's not what he meant. He meant that you like to fly like a military planes, right? That's what you said.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, like, you know, like, I cannot afford that one, so the little plane has to go.
But that would have still been cool, though.
That
would have been cool.
He's scared. He was scared of that one.
You know, biplane.
He was scared. But so we exchanged that to gliding, and then I got scared. I was so happy it was windy.
No, that's good. It's like you feel free.
Did you try it?
No, I've never done it, but
they
I'm
pretty much tell you might die. Like, but you see, the thing, I'm a free spirit person.
I'm a free spirited person. Like me and my babe. Like, he is just a risk taker of all hex.
Like, you're jumping off a mountain.
And I am too. Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm afraid of heights. I'm started with the place where I'm afraid of, like, looking down from the 3rd floor. But I actually did skydiving. I did. But there's a difference when somebody actually pushing you out of the plane and you stepping out of their cliff into nowhere.
It's scary.
It
is scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'd probably die.
You might break your leg when you land.
Yes. And you actually tell them, I don't hold you guilty if I die. It's like,
because you want. It's about the adrenaline. It's about the experience. About having to check it off your little bucket list.
I think
I do it with my husband. We go off. And
we might go on a double date. You know what I'm
Listen,
because
he'll be here for my show. He will be here for my show.
And it's again what day?
November 18th at the Relapse Theater at 8 p.m. It is going to be phenomenal. Please bring a tissue. You'll probably cry.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, like everything you describe is something I would love to see.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Going to be in China.
What? 18th?
November 18th.
Oh goodness, we're gonna be in China.
No, it's okay. No.
I always like forget our calendar.
Yeah, you will. I'm pretty sure you will.
Are you making a recording of it at all? No, it's just live one time.
Yeah, it's gonna be, but it's live one time here. But I'll do it again. But because it's my first show, it's my first production.
I so hope you do.
I want to put it on just one time, and then I'll build for the next one. Because I want to do one in Chicago, New York. Cool. Get my contacts
in Boston.
And stuff. Yeah, Boston. For sure. I want to take it around.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I can tell you. I mean, we're supposed to be in China November 10th, November 19th. 9 days.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's his birthday present. His birthday is in August.
We were going. You were yelling at me earlier.
Oh, I'm yelling at you often.
But that doesn't mean that you're not going.
Sounded like it a couple hours ago.
You're always going. You just gotta get through the hullabaloo.
Not Miss Lorena Bobbitt over here.
Well, I don't know who this person is. He's referred. I don't know who's this person. I'm like so.
Does anybody online remember who Lorena Bobbitt is?
I'm pretty sure nobody knows besides.
I'm sure everybody over here over 30.
Anybody who knows
who Lorena Bobbitt is.
Please, just give us a hint because I can bet you money nobody knows right now.
I'm sure somebody on here is intelligent enough to know who Lorena Bobbitt is.
Excuse me.
Any man on here would know who Lorena Bobbitt is who's over 30. Thank you very much, Kathy.
Who is that?
Who is that, though? I don't want to sound like I don't know something.
You don't know something.
Please, you can.
That I'm supposed to know. Am I supposed to know?
Don't worry about it because you cannot know everything and things he knows.
Honestly,
like he's watching so much stuff every day. Like you cannot possibly know everything he knows. So
I know who.
Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy, you're I don't know if I should be grateful to you or upset about it.
Thank you, Kathy. Can you put also an explanation of
Kathy, do not explain it to them. They'll look it up, and while they look it up, I will run.
That would be much appreciated. So, Google. No,
yes.
No Google.
Yes, Google.
I think you know enough.
While they Google it, I will get my car keys, and I will be out the door. Okay.
I'm heartbroken at this.
I mean, it's like he just called me. What did you call me? He said like your spirit is like what is that? The traitor one?
Renegade.
Renegade. Okay, so he tells me like your spirit is just so renegade. Do you know what I mean?
I do, because so am I.
Okay, so he's telling me it's a good thing.
It is.
I'm going in and I'm meaning reading the meaning of the word. It was like, okay, it says traitor. It says, what was that?
Think about it like this. You have, when you're a renegade.
Somebody who is
a rebel.
No, somebody who is not loyal. I'm like the most loyal person you can meet on this
yourself.
planet.
But you're loyal to yourself.
But I think the term renegade is in terms more like, there are no limits and bounds for you. It's just like, go against everything that is supposed to be set almost on purpose.
Well, it kind of describes me.
Thank you.
That's just me. That's me too. But I'm also very untamed in this.
But do you think, do you still think that expectations of women to be submissive is valid nowadays?
Be what?
To be submissive to the man.
I don't know about all that. I respect.
Because I hear that word so many times.
Submissive.
You're not submissive. Because I feel like men want this independent, creative, outgoing, passionate woman.
No, but we don't want independent, outgoing. Like the independent part is like, no, we want somebody who is our teammate. Not a ball hog.
Well, I am your teammate who can become a leader if necessary.
I don't need you to be a leader unless I
What if you suck in it? What if you suck in it?
That's a different scenario. I'm a great leader.
I disagree with all that.
I'm a great leader.
With his part of my part.
Well, I don't know about submissiveness. I never have been.
I was
never will be. I've always been a dominant nature, period. Always been more on the masculine side, just growing up. I grew up with 4 brothers, so there is no submissive in me, period. I am very respectful of my husband.
Feel like it's hurting your relationship? Or just,
oh my gosh, no, because I am who I am, and he's who he is. He respects me, I respect him, and we come together equally as a union. So do what we need to do. I lead, definitely. I can lead my own self, he leads himself, but we come together.
So do you perfectly fit, or do you have to adjust towards each other?
No, we fit. If I was submissive,
does it mean that if you're not fit, you shouldn't even struggle through adjustment?
What do you mean if we don't fit?
Do we compromise and try to work?
Like, for example, we are opposites. I don't know. We fit in some areas, like we have some common interests, but there are so many things. Like, for example, I love physical stuff. I like hiking, I like skiing, I like kayaking. He likes talking about Bible, playing computer games. None of that stuff actually matches up.
Intellectual stuff.
But see, I think
she doesn't.
I mean, I like intellectual stuff, but not the same. I mean,
not like I do.
I love talking to people. I love having discussions. Ask my friend.
We can discuss anything
because we have opposite opinions about a lot of things.
Intellectual stuff.
Well, you call intellectual when somebody agrees with you.
No, you don't like talking about intellectual stuff.
Well, see, I think right now the idea of fit is wrong. It's almost as if when you say fit, it has to be you guys have to like the same things. That's not what fit is. To me, in a relationship, like when you fit with someone, it's more the spiritual, mental, and emotional connection. Everything else around that, you are a different person. You are unique. You are not going to be the same, and you may be total opposites. But if you fit as a connection, as an energy, everything else falls in place. Everything else falls in place. What you like to do would be like, hey, I like this. All right, I've never done it before. Maybe I don't like it, but doing it with you, I may like it because we fit as people, as one, as a unit. That's what, in my mind, when I think of fitting with someone.
Well, and it's something we discussed with a couple we met where we were talking about that they have it kind of, okay, you've never done hiking before, but, if you want me to go to your Vegas trips, which he enjoys, I want you to go hiking with my family and backpacking with my family. So they call it as you're part of the bargain, my part of the bargain, or, so they negotiated that where they have to suffer through or try to enjoy, certain activities, even though they are not naturally, something that they would do. So should you do it on your own? Should you try to suffer through it, even if it's not really pleasurable? Because he makes this whole experience very unpleasant for me. If I like hiking and I take him with me, I know he will be complaining.
Like it because you like it. I mean, I'll do it.
So
I'm not gonna.
30 minutes into hiking, I will be like, so ready to go back because he's spoiling.
That I can understand. The thing is, we
got to close it out in a second.
I was gonna say that's gonna happen. But if you think about when you say bargain, you didn't even think as what you're trying to do with someone as bargain.
Okay, guys, so those who listen to us on the radio, we have to go. Like, time just flew. But please come to the show, and we will. You can find the link to the tickets on our page, and also more information. You said the trailer is coming up.
Yeah, the trailer is going to be actually posted right after this. If you want to get tickets, it's www.relapsecomedy.com. It's November 18th, 8 p.m. Everybody come out. 21 and up, though. It's adult stuff.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was such a pleasure. I feel like we could have done it for another couple hours. But
yes, it's no problem.
Well, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next Monday. Come and join us. Well, and those who join us on Facebook, thank you so much to everybody, not just Kathy, who apparently something tells me that this lady has killed somebody. And yes, I'll look it up and we'll go on Google right now. So we'll see you all next Monday, 9 p.m. Please come and watch the show on November 18th. So bye, guys.